Hello everyone, I am a professional esthetician and cosmetologist. Today, I am tackling one of the most searched yet controversial procedures, permanent eyebrow tattooing. Over the next minutes, I will reveal everything, from the procedure, pain level, and cost to hidden regrets and how to avoid disasters. Whether you're thinking about microblading, powder brows, or nano brows, this guide will help you make an informed decision. So subscribe my channel first, and like and share this video to make this world glow. Let's dive in. Section 1. Understanding permanent eyebrow tattooing. First, let's clear up some confusion. Permanent eyebrow makeup isn't actually forever, it typically lasts 1 to 3 years. There are 3 main types. Microblading. This is like drawing individual hairs with a tiny blade. Great if you want natural-looking fullness. But here's the catch, it doesn't work well for everyone. If you have oily skin or large pores, those crisp hair strokes might blur together over time. Powder brows. Imagine the look of softly filled-in brows with makeup. This technique uses tiny dots of pigment to create a shaded effect. It tends to last longer than microblading and works better on oilier skin types. Nano brows. The newest technique uses a very fine needle machine to implant pigment. It's less traumatic to the skin than microblading but requires an extremely skilled artist. The right choice depends on your skin type, dry or oily or mature. Natural brow hair. Desired look, natural versus makeup look. Budget, prices vary a lot. I'll help you figure out which might be best for you as we go through each option in detail. Section 2. The complete procedure, start to finish. Let me walk you through exactly what happens during an appointment. 1. The consultation. Don't skip this. A good artist will spend 30+ minutes discussing your ideal shape and color. Your medical history, certain conditions mean you shouldn't get this done. Realistic expectations, your skin type affects results. They should draw the shape first so you can approve it. Pro tip, come with your brows filled how you normally like them so they can match your style. 2. Numbing process. They'll apply a numbing cream for 20 to 30 minutes. Does it work? Mostly, but you'll still feel some scratching or vibration. The brow tails tend to be most sensitive. 3. The actual procedure for microblading. The artist makes tiny cuts in the skin with a handheld tool. They use needle tool to deposit pigment into these cuts to create hair-like strokes. The pigments dive deep into skin. From dermis onwards into further deeper layer. It takes about 1.5 to 2 hours. For powder/nano brows, a machine gently implants pigment. Powder brows create soft shading. Nano brows make precise hair strokes. Takes 2 to 2.5 hours. 4. The healing process. This part surprises people. Days 1 to 3, your brows will look very dark and maybe swollen. Days 4 to 7, they'll start scabbing and flaking, don't pick at them. Week 2, color fades significantly, don't panic, this is normal. Week 4 to 6, true color emerges, time for your touch-up. The touch-up session is crucial, this is when they perfect the shape and fill in any spots that didn't take the pigment well. Section 3, pain level, the honest truth. Let's get real about the pain factor because no one wants an unpleasant surprise. While permanent eyebrow tattooing isn't unbearable, it's definitely not pain-free either. Most people describe microblading as feeling like persistent cat scratches, about a 4 or 5 out of 10 on the pain scale. The brow tails tend to be the most sensitive since the skin is thinner there. Powder brows and nano brows are slightly less painful, around a 3 or 4, because they use a machine that vibrates rather than a manual blade. Numbing cream helps significantly, it reduces about 70% of the discomfort. However, you'll still feel some stinging when the pigment is first applied and pressure from the artist stretching your skin. If you're someone who's extra sensitive, avoid scheduling your appointment during your period, when pain tolerance is lower. Staying hydrated and skipping caffeine beforehand can also help ease discomfort. Some people bring headphones to distract themselves during the procedure, which isn't a bad idea. Section 4. Cost breakdown. What you'll really pay. Permanent eyebrow tattooing isn't cheap, and prices vary widely depending on where you live and the aesthetician's experience. Microblading typically ranges from $400 to $1,200 powder brows from $500 to $1,500 and nano brows, the most precise and least traumatic option, can cost anywhere from $800 to $2,000. But here is what most people don't realize. The initial procedure is just the beginning. You'll also need to budget for touch-ups every 12 to 18 months, which can cost $100 to $300 per session. If the pigment fades unevenly or turns an odd color, like red or gray, color correction sessions can run another $200 to $30 to $50 to your total. And if you're someone who hates the idea of going out with flaky, healing brows, you might even factor in a few days off work. The key takeaway? Don't choose an esthetician based on price alone. Cheap work often leads to expensive fixes. A skilled, reputable professional is worth every penny. Section 5. Common regrets and how to avoid them. Let me share with you the real stories and lessons from people who have gone through permanent eyebrow tattooing. After interviewing dozens of clients and artists, I've discovered the most common complaints and, more importantly, how you can prevent these issues from happening to you. One of the biggest regrets people have is ending up with brows that just don't suit their face. Imagine paying hundreds of dollars only to look in the mirror and see arches that are too high, too dark, or completely the wrong shape for your features. This often happens when estheticians rush through the consultation or don't properly consider facial symmetry. The solution? Never let an artist start without first drawing the shape with a pencil and letting you see it from all angles. Bring photos of brows you like, but be realistic. Your bone structure might not support certain shapes. A good esthetician will tell you what will and won't work with your natural features. Color issues are another major complaint. Many clients report their beautiful brown brows turning orange, gray, or even green over time. This color shift happens because of how different skin tones break down pigment molecules. The pigment that looks perfect when first applied can oxidize into something completely different as it heals. The key here is to find an esthetician who specializes in your skin tone. They should have a portfolio showing healed results on clients with similar complexion to yours. Ask specifically about the pigment brands they use. High-quality, organic pigments are less likely to turn strange colors. Then there's the issue of brows that look too harsh or unnatural. Some clients describe ending up with Sharpie brows, dark, solid blocks that look nothing like real hair. This usually happens when the esthetician goes too deep with the needle or uses too much pigment. The best way to avoid this is to start more subtle than you think you want. Ask your artist to use a lighter shade initially. You can always go darker later if needed. For those with oily or mature skin, there's the heartbreak of blurred results. Microbladed strokes that looked crisp and hair-like initially can blur together within months on oily skin types. That's because the natural oils in your skin cause the pigment to spread. If you have oily skin or large pores, powder brows or nano brows are usually a better choice, as these techniques don't rely on crisp lines that can blur. Perhaps the most painful regret comes from those who didn't realize how much maintenance is involved. Unlike what some salons advertise, permanent makeup isn't truly set it and forget it. You'll need touch-ups every 12 to 18 months to maintain the color, and these aren't always cheap. Many clients report feeling trapped. They either have to keep paying for maintenance or walk around with patchy, discolored brows. Before booking, ask the artist exactly what maintenance will cost and how often you'll need it. Budget accordingly so you're not caught off guard. Section 6. Removal options. When things go wrong despite all precautions, sometimes things don't work out as planned. If you find yourself unhappy with your permanent brows, know that you do have options, though none are perfect. The golden window for fixing mistakes is the first 48 hours after your procedure. During this time, emergency saline removal can pull out most of the pigment before it fully settles into your skin. This process involves soaking a cotton pad in a special saline solution and applying it to the brows under a bandage. It stings and causes significant swelling, but can remove up to 80% of fresh pigment. The sooner you do this after your procedure, the better the results will be. For older tattoos that have already healed, laser removal is the most effective option. Special tattoo removal lasers target the pigment particles and break them down so your body can eliminate them. However, this isn't as straightforward as removing regular tattoos. Eyebrow pigments often contain iron oxides which can turn black when lasered, requiring additional sessions to correct. There thus also risk of hypopigmentation, permanent light spots where the laser removed pigment along with some of your natural skin color. Color correction is another route, where a skilled esthetician uses complementary pigments to neutralize unwanted tones. For example, if your brows turned orange, an esthetician might use a blue-based pigment to cancel out the warmth. This requires advanced color theory knowledge and isn't something every esthetician can do well. The results can be unpredictable, and you may need multiple sessions to achieve a natural look. If you're not in a rush, simply letting the tattoo fade naturally is the least invasive option. Most brow tattoos fade significantly within 12 to 18 months, especially if you take steps to accelerate the process. Using retinoid creams or getting regular glycolic acid peels can help break down the pigment faster. Sun exposure also causes fading, though I don't recommend intentionally tanning as this damages your skin. It's important to understand that all removal methods come with drawbacks. They're typically more painful than the original procedure, often more expensive, and can't always completely erase the tattoo. Some clients report being left with ghostly gray shadows where the pigment was. This is why doing thorough research before getting your brows tattooed is so crucial. Prevention is always better than correction. After all this information, you might be wondering, is permanent eyebrow tattooing worth it? The answer depends entirely on your expectations, budget, and willingness to do proper research. For many people, especially those with sparse brows or who spend significant time doing their makeup daily, it can be life-changing. Remember, knowledge is power when it comes to any cosmetic procedure. So subscribe my channel to give credit, like and share this video too. Stay informed, stay beautiful. I'll see you in the next video.